The Minnesota Timberwolves just put on an absolute masterclass on how to ruin a franchise's future and basically do it in probably the quickest way possible. They basically speed ran ruining a franchise's future. Because, I mean, if you look at the Timberwolves as they are right now, they're an okay team. They made the playoffs, and they're far from what anyone really expected, or at least far from what the Timberwolves themselves wanted. Like, they went out to trade for Rudy because they thought they were a Rudy Gobert away from contending, which is insane, but they pretty much traded their entire heart and soul away. As look at what they did. Last year, they were so easy to root for because you had guys like Patrick Beverley who were celebrating winning a play-in game like they just won the finals or something. And then you have guys like Jared Vanderbilt who played very hard every night. Anthony Edwards who plays very hard every night. Like, these are very likable players and everybody liked them. And that's why a lot of people rooted for the Timberwolves last year. But this year, you traded all that away for one of the probably most disliked players in the entire NBA in Rudy Gobert, and that wouldn't be a problem if the trade wouldn't have been one of the worst trades in recent NBA history. Like, it literally doesn't get much worse than what they did, as they got rid of not only their heart and soul and Patrick Beverley and Jared Vanderbilt and Malik Beasley, three guys that were very liked by the franchise, but they also got rid of a plethora of draft picks, an absolute boatload of draft picks, okay? Like, an insane amount of their future. And they traded Walker Kessler, who ended up being a younger, cheaper version of Rudy Gobert. So they could have easily kept all their draft picks, kept Walker Kessler, kept that same heart and soul that made them so likable, and added what Rudy Gobert would have gave them for basically free if they just wouldn't have made a trade. But of course they ended up doing it, and then they really were very underwhelming. Kat and Rudy didn't really play that much together due to injury, and when they did, they weren't that great. Anthony Edwards still played very good. They ended up having to trade D'Lo away because the team wasn't working, and it was just a big old clusterfuck, okay? Like, they just pretty much sacrificed their entire future to be as average as humanly possible, and really not that much better than they were just last season. And to get rid of your entire future just so you can get bounced in 5 games by a fat Serbian man has got to be one of the worst decisions ever made by a front office. And this trade is, like, people don't talk about it enough for how awful it was, because it literally set this team back probably for the next 10 years, as they are basically stuck with this exact team for the very foreseeable future. Rudy Gobert's contract is literally untradeable. If you want to get rid of him, too bad. No one's trading for Rudy Gobert's contract, and if they do trade for him, you're never getting anything close to what you traded for him, okay? Like, you're either going to be getting rid of him for nothing, basically, or you're stuck with him for the foreseeable future. Either way is not a good outcome for this team, and you are paying him $122 million for the next 3 years. Then you have Karl-Anthony Towns, who is a very good player, but even he just signed a massive extension worth $229 million. You add on the fact that Anthony Edwards, you know he is going to make an absolute bag when he gets his extension, and you're paying Mike Conley $24 million next year. You're really stuck in a salary and financial situation, and 10 of their players are on this current roster are already under contract going into next season, so they basically have no option but to run it back completely unless they somehow miraculously find a way to pull off another blockbuster trade, which is extremely doubtful because of the complete lack of draft capital that they do have left. And that might be a way that you said, well, what if they do good in the draft? Well, no, that is not an option either, because they literally only have one first-round pick for years. They have their 2024 first-round pick, and after that, they don't have another one until 2028. And this year, they only have a second-round pick, and that second-round pick belongs to the New York Knicks, so even that is going to be a very late second-round pick at that. So there's almost no way for this team to improve, because Rudy Gobert is at his peak. Cat's probably not going to get that much better. Anthony Edwards will probably continue to get better, but, like, will he ever get to that level of being an MVP level player? That's still very much a question. So that you might have that going for you, but Mike Conley is going to retire soon. He'll probably leave, and this team really isn't getting that much better. They don't have the most trade assets. They don't have capital to trade. They don't have money to sign big name free agents. And would a big name free agent even sign in Minnesota? Probably not. So they're basically stuck with this same average ass team until they either have to trade Cat, trade Edwards, or until Rudy Gobert's contract is up. Like, that is an awful situation to be in. Like, if they were a 3 seed, it wouldn't be that bad. But they were literally barely a play-in team this year. Not barely a play-in team, but, like, they were battling for the 7th and 8th spot. Like, it's not like they were securely in there. So there's not even say that they were going to guaranteed make the playoffs next year. And you're paying all these players so much money. You have no draft capital to get better. Like, their future is absolutely in shambles. And really, just to conclude this video off, I want to say, like, although, yes, there are probably going to be a play-in level team once again next year, and maybe they make it, maybe they don't, but that trade is going to bite them in the ass very badly, very quickly, and the city of Minnesota just does not deserve that at all. Like, they deserve better, because they do have good fans. Their fans do like basketball, but Jesus Christ, y'all are going to be so bad in the next few years, because someone's going to demand a trade, something bad's going to happen, and you have no way to really stop it. And that's just a terrible spot to be in as an organization, and I just feel bad for everyone that is part of it. But unfortunately, guys, that's more for this video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think that the Timberwolves are going to be a train wreck? Do you think they're going to be bad? Or any thoughts in the comment section below? If there's any point, hit the like button and subscribe button. I mean, the absolute word to me, and hope you have a blessed day, because I have a blessed day. So you have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah, blah.